eSports. The world of organised competitive gaming is on the rise, and one of the biggest events on the eSports calendar is the Call of Duty Championships. Teams of Twitch shooting extraordinaires come together to compete for a $1 million prize. With so much on the line, we thought we'd have a chat with Call of Duty Ghost multiplayer designer Joe Cecot to find out whether creating both a game and a sport has changed the development process.
Every time I come to an event like this, there's notes to fix, there's notes on ideas to improve things, and there's notes kind of like on what worked really well, and we added the Oracle to the Codcaster, basically outlines, allows them to turn on outlining so you as a viewer get a much more personal view and an omnipotent view into what's happening, so you can kind of anticipate those engagements, and it's really helped a lot.
The age of the professional gamer is upon us, and with it comes an audience tuning in to watch their favourites. But with a game like COD and its FPS genre, it's got to find clever ways to keep the audience interested.
It's a challenge because games like football or video games like League of Legends, you have a third-person perspective on that game when you view it, and we have a limited kind of like first-person view, so we have to think of creative ways to bring the viewer in without changing that perspective, because you want to see that skill on display.
Developers like Cecot come along to these events to get a wider idea of how the players interact with their games. It's like an intense focus test that ultimately can lead devs to learn more about the game and implement changes.
You get to see them gravitate towards certain weapons, towards certain maps, towards certain places in maps. Freight, one of the maps that the guys pick a lot. There's some crazy sightlines and some crazy positioning around that central B flag sightlines I didn't even know about.
With 22 different maps in the game, Cecot clearly has a lot on his plate in terms of development, but having professional players taking on his creations, that's got to help.
It's more about the maturity of the map, and it takes time for a map to mature. We test the maps really thoroughly. We spend a lot of time with them, multiple studios testing them, but they really just need to get in the hands of millions of players to really hit their full potential, and that's what we really see here with the pro events.
The big question is then whether Call of Duty changes itself to fit in with the emerging esports crowd. Joe Cecot has the answer.
Inherently, Call of Duty is a very competitive game, so both for the esports crowd and for our more casual or public crowd, we can make kind of this, as long as we make that solid, good game, it's going to help fill both categories. With the esports, with the pro players, we have a really good feedback loop with them. We'll bring the guys into the studio to play the game, to test the game. We'll bring in the codcasters, we take notes on what they want, we go to events, and so we have a really tight feedback loop with them to kind of give them the best experience. And we really let them kind of customize it for themselves.
So there we have it. Pro gamers and the esports scene may well be changing the way we game without us even knowing it. Well, until now anyway.